Hi people, it's 11:15 in the morning. It's Tuesday the 14th of October. This is going to be a video on who's getting particularly hit by the upcoming solar eclipse along with the Mercury retrograde that's ongoing. But as I start to do this, I know that Saturn is rising on the ascendant where I am. And the Sun is now one sign, 31 degrees ahead of Saturn. Therefore, wherever you are in the world, from the moment of sunrise to about 2 hours after sunrise, the Sun has risen but Saturn has not. And I'm guessing here, but it should be that for the next week or so, the first 2 hours of the day after sunrise are going to be far more effective and efficient. You'll get a load more done in the start of the day than you will after 2 hours after sunrise when Saturn's come up. Just an idea, might be worth experimenting with. Right, the Mercury retrograde that's ongoing, a number of people now are really getting hacked off with it. I'm still trying to surf it and find a kind of wry humour, although it's putting a bit thin sometimes. It's Mercury retrograde. Mercury's in inferior conjunction to the Sun. It's going to be closer to the Earth than almost at any time over the coming few days. And yeah, we're at the peak of it, Mercury retrograde now. We've also, within this Mercury retrograde, got two eclipses, one of which has passed, which was the blood moon of a few days ago, and one which is to come in about 9 days' time, which will be the partial eclipse of the Sun. I've made reference to various establishment figures and situations that I expect to come under a degree of challenge, but I'm now looking at particular groups of individuals, not so much particular signs of the zodiac, but particular groupings, and I'm particularly looking at 3 or 4 groupings. So here you go, the definitive guide to who's particularly getting hit by the upcoming solar eclipse and ongoing Mercury retrograde. I'm looking at those people born from August 1957 to August 1959. You've got Neptune at 0 and 1 degree of Scorpio, generally speaking, and there's a great sense of a lot of difference now being really amplified between imagination, which can be created, and fantasy, which stays between the ears. And for those people born in the late 50s, August to August 57, 59, there's a need now to be aware that you're not dreaming something in that's actually not rooted in something solid. On the other hand, anything that you've struggled to bring structure into the imagination with over recent years is on the point of really flowering now, as long as it's rooted and down to earth and not just a flight of fancy and you're not just making it up. Then if you're one of these generations, it is a time of creative potential. Similarly, there's the generation born from November 1974 to November 1975, with Uranus at 0 and 1 degree, or approximately, of Scorpio, and the eclipse will pass on top of Uranus in your chart. Now this is a whole year's worth of people. Nevertheless, many of these people will find that the capacity for irritation, frustration, impotence, and I don't mean it at a sexual level, I mean unable to do anything to correct ongoing situations, is at a growing high, and it's still getting stronger in the short term over the coming week or two. And as with everything Uranian, there is a capacity for taking sudden, out of the blue, spontaneous action, which is fine if it's done in moderation and for fun, but not too extreme. So this group of people born primarily late 74 to late 75, count to 10 over the coming week or two. Then there's the group born from November 82 to October 85, who were born with Pluto at the very end of Libra and the first couple of degrees of Scorpio. You're the people with the retrograde Mercury stationing on top of your Pluto and the eclipse of the Sun on top of your Pluto. For all of you, even though it's a 3-year generation, there is a slightly more intense energy of ending and new beginning. Transformation from one lower state of consciousness into another, even if it means that certain elements of your life are passing or moving on. In particular relation to this is the generation born of November 82 to July 83, who were born with the Saturn-Pluto conjunction at the very end of Libra, the gateways of Scorpio. and here this generation particularly is being affected majorly so in this last week. For all of these people, this last week has been a time of intensity, fusion, concentration, and it will come back again briefly in early mid-November when Mercury starts moving forward again and the eclipses are over. It's a pretty weird, frustrating time for a lot of people out there. As I speak, the moon's in Cancer. It's not making difficult aspects. Today is actually a nice day. But if you're one of these groups of people, you don't want to be going making long-term plans right now. Give it another week or two yet until the Mercury retrograde's over. Okay, people, lecture over. Catch you later. Bye.